Hello, Steve White, Trickboy89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, there was a recent fan event, I guess you can call it, Universal Fan Fest Nights, which is something we heard about. They were going to have a Star Trek event. And what it ended up being, well, the most interesting part of it, I think, was they actually had the set, the actual recreated Next Generation set, on display. Now, the floor was reconstructed and didn't actually accurately represent the actual floor. And they had rails and a risen area because apparently the slope of the set was too much for people to handle or something. But all the component parts, the consoles, the seating, all that, the back panels, all that stuff was all from the original, the recreated filming sets from the actual show, which is interesting for fans to actually be able to see the actual, stage, screen used, stage props and sets and things like that actually like there set up. That would be pretty amazing for fans, even though they had these stupid guardrails around them. Like, how useless are people that they need to go to that level for their own, safety and, worrying about being like sued by someone like falling over or something, that you couldn't, it kind of ruined the look. Like, obviously the bridge set didn't have guardrails, and I'm not sure how close people actually were able to get to it. Was it something you could walk through, or was it more like an exhibit? It looked more like an exhibit, but the idea was it was sort of set up like a theme park ride where you sort of got walked through it, like you're going through the ship and there were things happening and stuff like that. And it looked like the bridge wasn't an active set that you actually use, which is good because it won't get damaged, but more like something that you just like sort of walked past and sort of looked at like a museum exhibit. But the fact that it exists, that they've kept it, because I'd heard that they had kept it and it was going to be going on tour or on show or going to a museum or something, that was being preserved, unlike the original set that was rebuilt for generations and then destroyed for generations, and very little actually survived because they don't care about that stuff. So that was interesting. I thought that was interesting. I had to comment on that because it looked interesting, but the guardrails, I'm like, why? And then I'm like, well, if it's an exhibit and it actually protects the set just as much as it protects people, that's fine, because I want this thing to survive, for like eternity, and I would like to actually see it at some point. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the use of the set in the FanFest nights, and just the idea of the FanFest nights and having events like this. What would be really nice is a permanent attraction, a permanent Star Trek attraction, like Star Trek Las Vegas. Was it called the Experience? Yeah, something like that, which I wish I'd gone to. Something like that. We need something like that permanently, where we have recreated bridge sets and things like that you can walk through and feel like you're in Star Trek. And there've been individual events that have been set up like this, but they were never permanent. So all this money is sort of wasted on these temporary things when they could have spent real money on doing something permanent. But kind of like the Doctor Who exhibits and that have cropped up over the years, they always get torn down and moved on, and all that money gets spent and then wasted on some level, because they should have just, built a Doctor Who museum back in the day, and just it could still be running. Instead of all these, I watched a video on that the other day, so that's why I'm thinking about that. And Star Trek is kind of the same, where over the years you had all these little exhibits and things where they have to spend money to set it up and design it and all that, and they just tear it down again. And I'm like, just establish a permanent, like, fan experience, and then you can continue to invest money in it over time and make it better and better and better, and add new attractions and stuff like that. So I just want something like that. But this is all we're going to get. But when we're getting real stage screen used, props and things like that and set pieces and that, at least we're getting quality. It's not some weird fan idea of what the bridge would look like that someone, sort of put together on a shoestring budget that looks awful, like we've seen in the past as well. But I'm still talking. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the whole thing. And do we need like a permanent, Star Trek experience again? I think we do, because that only ended because contracts ended. It's not like it wasn't doing well, it wasn't making money or anything. It was actually doing well. But yeah.